officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Fernando Velarde. Second referee, Mr. Ryan Vincent Corpus. Let's welcome our starting lineup from our VNS Volleyball Never Stops Griffins. Let's begin with our team captain, who wears jersey number 8, Charles Jordan Segi. At number 1, Kim Chris Liray. Wearing jersey number 5, Roderick Medina. At number 9, Howard Guerra. Wearing jersey number 18, Titus Villacruzes. And number 19, Christian Olaes. Starting libero is number 2, Joshua Cruz. Sitting in as head coach, Mr. John De Guzman. Presenting our Savouge Spin Doctors. Let's begin with jersey number 2, June Lawrence Senior. At number 4, Giles Jeffer Torres. Wearing jersey number 10, Noel Sanama. At number 13, Michael Vince Imperial. Number 18, Luis Gaspar Gamban. And at number 19, John Daniel Diwa. Starting libero is number 5, Rico Marius Marmeto. And head coach is Sidney Calderon. This is match number 8, preliminary round, season 7. The Invitational Conference of the Spikers Turf, where power
Your starters for
passion.
VNS, Medino, Villacruzes, Segi, Liray, Olaes, Guerra, and their libero Joshua Cruz. And they will be met here in the first set by Torres, Sanama, Imperial, Senyoron, Gamban, Diwa, and the veteran Rico Marmeto as their libero. And before you get to match up against the likes of Crisscross and Signal, you need to take care of business against the teams that are near, at, below, or a bit above your talent level. These are the must-win matches for these squads.
Oh, most definitely. And we did talk about that at the top of the coverage, you know, that how all of these games really matter. Only 4 teams out of the 10 will make the cut to the semifinals. Thus, actually making all of these games, especially, you're right, no, especially those within reach, the best matches in terms of skill.
Serve from the
If you take that,
number 9,
that's good.
Are we saying that Crisscross and Signal are not going to be defeated? Of course not, right? Of
Yes,
course
of
not.
course
The
not.
upsets can happen, but the percentage, the talent level, we witness it just a little bit better than the rest of the field, at least for the last conference. Let's see now how we will complete our semifinals cast, as we just saw our first point in favor of Savouge. Much better first ball this time around, as VNS will get their first point off a net touch.
That's a lucky one. They had 2 attempts dropping the ball, both picked up by Savouge.
But when you are an aggressive blocking team like Savouge, we saw them have 19 block points. That's against 9 in their last game. These mistakes, the net touches, can happen from time to time.
Oh, it can happen. Quite early, I may say. It's not a very tense, fast-paced play that we've seen earlier. But yes, it does happen.
Sanama will be serving now for the Spin Doctors. Oh, they got some missed rotation coming from VNS. A cheap point to give up.
Quite a slow start, we may say. Some violations, some points being earned through opponents' errors.
Another nice jump serve there. Oh, that's a lucky break. Has just
Indeed.
It just fell to the other side on the reception.
Gotta give it to that jump also beside the net, kind of deceiving.
Yeah, yeah. Perhaps expecting a second touch, but hey, you take the points from however you get them. Marmeto with a good first ball. Attacks have been good for Savouge as Senyoran connects.
Look at that back set. Getting that corner right there.
Only one blocker to beat. Not enough for Lawrence Senyoron. They go to the other side, and that might be another net touch. Yes, it will be against Gamban. Second of that violation for Savouge.
Look at that momentum.
Yeah.
Bring him to the net.
They go back to Senyoron. Picked up this time. Guerra sets it up. That will be wide against VNS. An attacking error.
We're not seeing anything fancy yet, no, from both of these teams.
Yep.
Very basic play so far to start this first set.
They just want to get that good momentum on their side.
Probably also getting a better feel of the game as we see more miscues, more errors rather.
Yep, the second touch, unfortunately, was not between the two antennas, making it another error, another unforced error on the side of VNS. We go to the back set, bit off. Dio was sent back, but a net touch is called this time by VNS. Maybe fooled by that jump set on the second touch.
There must be something also with, look at that. Sayang, no? On his way down, he had a touch on the net.
Yeah, that's just an easy point for Gamban on the over reception. And that'll push us to our first technical timeout of the opening set. A strong start for the Savouge Spin Doctors, 8-3 against VNS.
Coming to you live from Laguna, this is the 2024 Spikers Turf Invitational Conference. For the VNS Griffins, out of their 19-player roster, 4 is inactive. 2 of them are their starters. We have Arcilio is feeling under the weather the past 3 days. Mangulab, a starter as well, has commitment in school. He's a student from Mapua University. Martishon, a student, still has a DepEd meet. And Labide is serving the Army, has duty as well. But regardless of this, I spoke to team captain Charles Segi. They are confident that they will perform and that their team is built to stay ready and to be ready. They're unafraid of facing the Spin Doctors. Back to you, Carl and Ann.
Well, it's always challenging when you do not have your full arsenal to go to battle, but these things happen, and it's always next man up.
And, if these, I wouldn't say planned, but if these have been scheduled, I'm pretty sure the adjustments have been made also in preparation for today.
9-4, still a 5-point lead for the Spin Doctors. Although it will be the other side now, VNS serving. This is Kim Chris Liray. Gamban. And that was a huge runway for him to elevate and score on another kill. Finding the gap between the two blockers there. They were ready for him, but he found a way through. Now serving, 10 leading 4. Decent first ball to work with. But Gamban dives for it. Counter attack. Will be blocked, sent back by Diwa. One more try. He will find the corner.
Not the most solid contacts with the ball, but still lands within.
But that is an important skill for all middle blockers. The second jump, the ability to elevate with the same quality the second time around.
It's a vertical jump, no? Limited movement rather.
11-4 as Gamban continues to serve. Oh, great pickup from Senyoron. Tremendous floor defense coming from the Spin Doctor. Sanama hammered it. It won't be kept alive by VNS. Savouge on a roll right now.
Seeing more aggressive offense now from the guys in black.
And that is why Coach JP De Guzman will call a timeout.
Tayo. Yung last game, no? Tapos na yung last game eh. Ibang game tong nilalaro. Iba yung kalaban natin. Ngayon, nagpapa-under tayo sa kanila. Gumalaw tayo ng pinaktis natin. Kung ano yung pinaktis natin, yun yung galaw natin. Sinimulan nyo ng lousy eh. Lagyan nyo ng intensity yung ginagawa nyo. Lagyan nyo kasi ng tamang technique sa pag-receive pa lang, sa pag-set pa lang. Kasi malaman mo kung yung set mo, mabibigyan ng kumpiyansa yung spiker mo eh. I-set mo walang kumpiyansa eh.
In sport, you have to be very quick to bounce back or move forward from even a big win. For VNS, we heard it from Coach JP De Guzman. They might still be a little too high after their 3-set sweep in their last matchup.
And you know, he is asking for the technique, the right technique, and sinabi nga niyang the last one, yung kumpiyansa. They do need it at this point. It is a big lead already, but not impossible for them to at least make their score a bit more closer to Savouge.
That's certainly a good sign. A response after a timeout. Elias getting one through the double block of Savouge.
And let's see if they can be consistent.
Good dig that time around. Picked up by Diwa. VNS will try again, and that will be a point for the Griffins as it hit the antenna. A challenge has been issued by the Savouge Spin Doctors on the antenna touch. For a split second, I thought that it was being waved off by the players. They just wanted to, be given the opportunity to get that point back, but it has been motioned already. So we have our first official challenge of this match.
Both teams making use of this time to, calm each other down, maybe collect themselves. Even on the side of VNS.
These tough starts happen, but how do you try to bounce back from it, as it was clear that it bounced first off of the arm of the blocker before it hit the antenna? How do you will yourself back into a matchup after a flat start?
It takes a lot of maturity. Yeah. It's easier said than done. You say you bounce back right away. But sometimes also these teams need that moment to turn things around. Maybe, a moment that they can celebrate. Momentum shifting back on their side. It's not waiting for the opponent to commit a mistake. It's just that, I guess, the Spin Doctors are making it so difficult right now for the Griffins.
Diwa being a factor here in this matchup. When the middle is active, that really opens up for the pin hitters as well. Let's see how well he will play from the service area this time. Oh, that was a rocket coming from Seki.
That could be what will turn around things here for VNS. We heard it in the huddle. Ang hinihingi ni Coach Kumpiyansa. This could give them just that.
Always good to have a massive kill on your side to just get some positive momentum going. That block will sail out. Good presence from VNS, but it would prove to be another point for the Spin Doctors, extending their lead back up to 7. They've been trying to go cross court. It's kept alive by Sanama. Sent across as this rally will continue. Libero not ready for it as Jonas mishandled. VNS pulls one back. Segi with the serve now. Ooh, you have to say that the reception has been on point for the Spin Doctors, leading to good opportunities to score, especially this one for Torres.
Take a look at this. There were blockers, but the elevation and the reach was amazing on that last attack.
Noruel Sanama serving again. Out of control this time, too strong. Well, at least VNS has recovered, but can they rally? That is the next challenge for the squad wearing white right now. How will they try to make their way back to this first set?
Oh, the effort to try and pick up that ball. Well, I think the question for the Griffins would be, because they can get these points in. Nakikita natin, strong offense. The question is how consistent can it be? It cannot be one and then, the Spin Doctors would get it again. They have to score at least 2-3 consecutive points.
Just to put some doubt on the Spin Doctors right now, as VNS trying to mount a rally. Again, when he has that runway, how do you even stop him?
That is a good question, but how?
Second technical timeout of our first set. It is 16-10 for the Spin Doctors. We'll take a quick break.
Siguro yung big lesson na nakuha namin sa last season ng Spikers Turf is yung how to settle the struggle, na kapag medyo dikitan yung laban is hindi kami mawala, magkawatak-watak, at inaral din namin na mas maging as one kami para makapag-perform yung team namin ng mas maganda.
We pick up the action in this first set between Savouge and VNS. As Austria has yet to see action, but nagustuhan niya yung answer niya dun sa Q&A.
Parang Q&A ng beauty pageant.
And thank you, sabi ni Hero Austria. No need for him to help just yet, as they've been playing well with this starting unit, up by 7 once again. The offense has looked good from time to time for the Griffins, but it might be on the defensive side where they will have to make certain adjustments. There are too many options for the Spin Doctors.
That's right. And you see how the Spin Doctors try and recover right away. They do it almost immediately after the Griffins has scored a point.
You had Senyoron, you had Gamban, and then you had Diwa. all options during that exchange. I mean, how do you even decide where you will commit your defense?
But for the setter of the Spin Doctors, what a great problem. I have a lot
Yeah,
of options
yeah.
right here as they made some substitutions. Well-deserved rest for those that have delivered.
Double substitution. Time out a little bit short for Sanama to keep that ball alive. But they've kept this lead at 5 or 6, not allowing VNS to get anything big going on their side. Another middle attack is money for Diwa.
They are liking what they're seeing so far here in set number 1. They started off a bit slow, but you know, here in the mid part of the first set, we're seeing you know, different plays being executed.
You saw in the replay, hindi man lang nakatalon, no?
Oo.
Yung bantay dapat, itong si Diwa. Another chance here for the Spin Doctors. Sanama has been all power here in the first set.
And the thing is, you see that the attack lands in an unmanned area,
Yeah.
just like this. A great, the great target, that corner.
So even if you have a new setter in Paglao, the quality did not dip for the Spin Doctors. Good touch coming from the blockers. Back set. Almost hammered home, but a counter for VNS. They go back to Diwa. It is wide, but there is a net touch against the Griffins, so another point for Savouge.
How unfortunate. Could have been their point.
Another timeout for
Kailangan
VNS.
makipaghabulan ng block. Ang kailangan natin magandang shadow ng block. Pinractice natin eh. Tama shadow mo, habulin mo, touch net ka. Diba? Hindi pwedeng ano, kailangan mabilis kayo makapag-adjust. Tiga mo, kaya natin humabol niya 9 points. Hindi pa naman tapos eh. Kaya nyo makipaglaban ng ano eh. Pumasa muna kayo maayos, gamayin nyo muna yung receive. Isa-isa hanggang makuha nyo. Basahin nyo kasi yung kalaban. Nangyayari kasi sa inyo, kinokontrol kayo ng kalaban nyo. Ha?
Taking another look at that last exchange. Diwa could not find the angle, but there was an obvious net touch against the Griffins, allowing Savouge to extend their lead up to 9 right now, 21-12. Luis Gamban, their top scorer in their last game, 18 points. So putting in the work here in the first set as they're in search for back-to-back wins. That's more like it. Again, you really want your team responding immediately after you call a timeout.
And so far, in most of the timeouts that have been called, no, they come back, they get that point. But again, the question, given that the Spin Doctors are now at 21, how many more can they score? And they, you know, there is urgency. You know, they need to do it now. They need to at least keep their score closer to the Spin Doctors.
Kenneth Dainata in for serving purposes. Sanama sent back. It is kept alive though. Paglaon sends it across. They go to the back set. Strong attack coming from Medino.
Excellent offense being shown by the Griffins. Seems like they are responding to the challenge.
Only a single block to beat. Medino went cross-court. Back-to-back points for them. That's another quick. Diwa has been outstanding in the first set.
Look at that, getting the blocker to commit. Look at this. That set. Single block, pababa na yung blocker. Sumunod yung isa, but it was wide open for him.
The middle attack has been a riddle that the VNS Griffins have not been able to solve yet in our opener. Good exchange at the net. It is kept alive. Gamban will set it up. Smart attack against the triple block. Just brushing it off the arm of the defense, sending it outside.
This has been a quick first set for the Spin Doctors. Really controlling the pace of the game.
After establishing a decent lead in our first technical timeout, tuloy-tuloy na no? Hindi na nakahabol itong VNS Griffins. Chance ball here for the white shirts. Oh, but they will be stopped. They will be blocked completely. As that was Torres with the denial. Diwa sends it straight to the net. Are there a mistake coming from Diwa?
Yeah, sabi niya, I've scored a few. We extend this first set for a little bit.
We're at set point here for the Spin Doctors. Torres was defended well. VNS looking to stay alive here. At least they're still getting points coming from their team captain, Charles Jordan Segi. Oh, first time out requested by the Savouge Spin Doctors. They want to put an end to this first set. They will play it out during this timeout.
Iwan mo si Noy doon. Iwan si Noy sa dulohan. Porsyento si Noy.
Combination tayo. Magandang receive lang para makapag-combination para matapos na natin.
Sa'yo matatangkad blocker.
Let's go, end game, guys.
Patamayin mo lang sa pan.
Sa'yo, timing na.
Let's go po.
Say, so!
Good.
The request was for one good reception to be able to finish things off here in the first set. They just need another point after the timeout was called by Coach Sidney Calderon. This is Justin Yatko serving. And they don't even need the reception because that was way too long coming from Yatko, allowing Savouge to win this first set. And that is the confirmation, 25-16 in your opener in favor of the Savouge Spin Doctors. The second set when we come back. First set is already down inside the city of Santa Rosa multi-purpose complex. It was the Savouge Spin Doctors winning 25-16 as we check out the highlights. After a tense exchange in the first points of this matchup, Savouge really put their foot on the gas pedal and the VNS just could not keep up the rest of the way. Blocking was on point, their middle attack was on point, allowing the likes of their leading scorer Gamban and even Loren Senyoron to really get going in that first set.
And while we saw some good response on the side of the Griffins, so every time they call a timeout, they come back and score a point. Guess it just wasn't good enough as we look at the numbers where the Spin Doctors really dominated the offense, 17 attack points as opposed to only 11 of the Griffins. They had this, you mentioned blocking, even at the service line, they did deliver a point there. What didn't help, I guess, on the side of the Griffins, they didn't score as much, but they also gave away 5 giveaway points in that last set. So sayang, because it was a struggle already for them to get those points in. Now coming into set number 2, I think what they have to realize is that yes, they are missing a few players, but they will need to fill in those shoes that are missing, and they have to start off strong.
You can't look for teammates who are not there, right? You cannot rely on the names listed in your lineup, just the ones present here today. And the tough part about those 5 errors for VNS was that 3 of them were committed early. So it really hurt their start. It really slowed them down in the opener.
These were, and that's why we are saying that starting off the second set, you need to also play that mind game.
Yeah.
No? You have to be aggressive and really show your opponent na hindi kami ganyang kadaling talunan. You have to be a bit more aggressive. We're not saying taunting. It's not that. It's really more scoring convincingly.
Yeah. Just to change the vibe, because it looked too easy for the Spin Doctors in the first set. Let's see how the VNS Griffins will attempt to change things up here in the second set in Santa Rosa. And this is our first visit of 2 visits here in Santa Rosa. We will be back come November 20 for another doubleheader as the action is heating up here in your 2024 Spikers Turf Invitational Conference. And speaking of heating up, how about Senyoron giving us the first point of the second set?
He said, that's a wonderful gift I would gladly take. There's really strength at the net here for the Spin Doctors. And, their body language entering the second set is very different. So much confidence you see there.
You don't mind mistakes like that. I mean, points scored that way if you are Savouge. At least the blockers were there.
Yes.
Direction may have needed a bit of improvement as a block goes out, but at least you made it difficult for VNS to score. Meanwhile, another pristine attack for the Griffins.
They've been going a lot to the center. And, gotta give credit to the good first ball that they have been delivering.
Norwell Sanama serving again. And the blockers were once again present for the Spin Doctors. That will be a net touch. And these are the mistakes that you really have to overcome.
These are giveaway points. And you did mention that earlier. The points scored off by the Griffins, off that block. So, nag-block naman yung Spin Doctors. That's okay. But, other violations or mistakes such as that, those are tough and those are painful.
And that will prompt a quick substitution coming from Coach JP De Guzman as Alforque checks in, replacing Villacruzes. Sanama continues to serve for the Savouge Spin Doctors, wanting to claim a big second set lead early, but that will be his second service error of the match. Good serve. Nice presence on the block also for the Griffins. But there will be no one at the back to try and keep that alive.
It's you'll see that there are some things that the Griffins need to work on when it comes to blocking.
Yeah.
You know, usually just single blocking left with an attacker.
But Lirai with an explosive point there. Will that be enough to inject some energy, some life into the offense of the VNS Griffins? Oh! Miscommunication coming from the black shirts as they just allowed that ball to land.
So far, I think for the Griffins, a better start here in set number 2.
Nice dive to keep it alive. Medino. That's a net touch against Savouge, and this is crucial. Getting a deadlock at 5 apiece, because at this stage in the first set, they were already down.
Ooh.
No control there on the jump serve for Medina as the lead shifts right back to the Spin Doctors, 6-5. Lirai denied this time. The defense of Savouge adjusting, more ready for him.
And look at that timing. Really committing to Lirai.
Now our next game will feature Signal HD Spikers going up against the Chichi DHTSI Titans. As we have a service error coming from Signoron, but Joshua Retamar will be playing for Signal HD. He has been one of the top setters in the game, national team player at that. What does he bring to the table for a team as good as Signal already?
You know, I think here, no, it's a lot about skill, but that mental part also. It's making it tough to read for your opponent, the plays that you will deliver. It's going to be an exciting match, or show, as we may say, how they will drive the plays in the game later.
Of course, one of the big advantages of Retamar is that he's tall for a setter, right? So you don't really suffer anything in the blocking department.
Yeah.
As we see another point here coming from Gamban.
That's just one of those things. But again, the predictability, the lack of course, the intention not to be as predictable. Yan yung aabangan din natin.
Savouge will take a 1-point lead heading into our first technical timeout, 8-7 against VNS in the second set.
Nagbabalik ang 2024 Spiker Surf Invitational Conference for the Spin Doctors. Their win over Martelli Meets last game, they would score that they would rate 5 out of 10. The team felt like they underperformed, that they still had first game jitters, and one of which Luis Gamban experiencing his first pro game, although at 16 of the 34 attempts converting 47%, hindi pa raw daw ito todo, that they could perform better, that he and the team could have dominated the game. And Luis is still adjusting from the collegiate environment to the pro environment, the higher level competition. But Luis mentioned that he still has the same passion and vigor for the game. Back to you, Carlo and Ann.
Thank you for that report, Baileys. After the timeout, we have another point, a kill block this time for the Spin Doctors. Even if you struggled, diba, at least you got that out of the way with a win. At least you didn't pay for it. You survived it, and I'm sure they learned a lot from that 5-setter.
But you know, it is also a good mindset that they did win that match, but they know that there is more to learn, more to improve on.
Oh, miscommunication there in what could have been an easy point for the Spin Doctors. Nagkahiyaan sina Sanama at saka si Diwa at the net.
This. It is a classic case of just saying mine.
Yeah.
You know? And usually in volleyball, coaches would say, walang yours. Dapat mine yan.
Oh, what a way to make up for that last mistake. Sanama with another bomb.
But if you're a coach, you gotta like that bawi.
Yeah,
Yung
yeah.
puntos agad. You get the score back.
So some of it is also a credit to the setter, no?
Yes, of
Papabawiin
course.
mo yung nagkamali. Blockers once again there for the black shirts. Back to him. This one goes through.
Triple block. Goes through. That smile on his face, of course, liking that. Look at this. 3 blockers going for him. Pero nahanap niya that gap in
Yep.
between.
Targeted the smallest blocker in Imperial. And that will be another point for VNS.
The Griffins are waving and saying, Spin Doctors, not the time to relax. Not yet.
Deadlocked at 10. So much better effort already for the VNS Griffins. Oh, combination play. That is a hammer from Sanama.
You know, I think on the side of the Spin Doctors, that is something that is working for them at the moment. You see a lot of these combination plays, lower, faster, quicker sets. Something that, you know, is not done as much here on the side of the Griffins.
Kita mo, walang depensa
Oo,
whatsoever for Sanama. Both of them alone out front. Now Sanama has been letting it fly here in the second set.
I think it's pretty clear for the Griffins. They need to work double time on their floor defense. Dahil meron pang block point.
Not even halfway through our second set and already threatening to score double digits.
Medino with that drop right behind the blockers. No coverage for the Spin Doctors. Overreaching called on the Spin Doctors.
So important back-to-back points here. Kasi nalamangan na sila ng tatlo, no? Now it's down to a 1-point advantage. Back row attack. Picked up by Gamban. And that will be another error.
Sam was too close to the net,
Yep.
actually.
Sanama acknowledging the mistake na nahawakan niya talaga yung tape. As he did not have a lot of space to work with.
Good first ball.
Senyoron with a smart hit. Just angling it off the blockers and out. Good recovery here for the Spin Doctors. Regaining the advantage and halting that 3-0 mini run from VNS. Third service error for Sanama. And when you serve with that much power, pag ganyan kalakas pumalo talaga, paminsan magkakamali ka.
They say high risk, high return. This ties them again with the Griffins.
Torres has explosive vertical leaping ability. It was in full display there.
It's the ball was too fast. Hindi na nakapag-react yung depensa sa kabila. Easier serve.
At dahil sa quality, no? Dahil sa ganda ng first ball, maganda rin yung atake. Itong VNS Griffins tying the contest once again at 15. Last point before we head to our second technical timeout. Who will head there with the advantage? The runner, money for Diwa. The slide attack will give them their 16th point as we head into a quick break. Spin Doctors up by 1.
Ang binigay po nila na ano sa akin na tulong or mga tips po ganyan ay kailangan ko lang po mag-focus sa goal at wag po magpa-distract sa mga anong distraction po sa labas at step by step po ay wag pong madaliin ang paglakas pero kapag kailangan po talaga kailangan po itong subukan at lahat makakamit ko ito.
Napakalalim naman ng Tagalog dito. Si Medina, makakamit is something that
makakamit.
I do not hear usually. Well said to the young Medino as Austria. Yung may Q&A portion din kanina. Finally checks into this matchup.
It's a much closer second set. And kanina nga, no, during the technical timeout, nakikinig ako dun sa pinag-uusapan dito on the side of the Griffins. And there were reminders, most especially on blocking. Because again, pinag-uusapan natin, defense is what they need to step up on.
Yep.
So, talking about net defense and floor defense, and sinasabi ka, hindi pwedeng tatalon ka lang. You have to try and stuff that block.
Yep.
Let's see if they can execute. Dahil puro malakasan din the offense that we're seeing on the side of the Spin Doctors.
Austria kakapasok lamang. Was sent back. Gamban scores again. Are they not reading it? Hindi ba nila nakikita yung kaliwete, yung angulo ng atake nitong si Gamban?
It seems to be a challenge. You know, we're already on our second set. But having difficulties in reading the offense coming from the other side.
Because if you look at that double block, the angle of it looked like they were going up against a right-handed blocker.
Yes, and that adjustment is what is missing. And there were quite a number of reminders on blocking alone during their technical timeout. Now the execution is what we are waiting for.
Well, si Sanama, double digits na, 10 points in the matchup. Towering, skying over that double block.
And, you know, we have to understand, if the blocking is not on point, kung mali lang ng konti yung angulong kinover mo, it kind of messes up also your floor defense at the back. And I think that is one of the challenges that we're seeing right here for the Griffins.
It is kept alive by Gamban. Aatake si Segi. Na-depensa ni Hernandez. Austria straight into the double for an attacking error. Mahirap na rin yung angulo, no? Did not have a lot of space to work with. As Nainata checks back into this ball game again for serving purposes. Savouge leading by only 1 point. Pinabawi itong si Austria at hindi niya naman pinahiya yung kanyang veteranong setter na si Hernandez.
This is a pattern that we're seeing here on the side of the Spin Doctors. Coming from one error, the setters would allow their teammates another chance para makabawi. Ooh.
20 years of age. Potential oozing from his veins.
So fresh, so much power. And you see only a single blocker for that one. So gotta give credit as well to their center spiker.
That one a mishit. Will they ask for a challenge? Yes, they will. As Austria thought there was a block touch. And this will be the first challenge of our second set. We will see if the defense did get a fingertip on it before it sailed out. But the hit from Austria, it felt like it was heading out anyway.
Yeah, because
parang papunta talaga doon.
Trajectory was quite high. But
Pero
we'll see.
baka nga naman nga.
Could
may-
have touched, you know, the finger of the blocker slightly.
So their first challenge was unsuccessful in the first set. Tingnan natin if they have better luck this time around. Walang umaamin, no? Dito sa VNS Griffins. We will have to wait and see if there was
Seemed like it passed through.
between. Yep. No block touch. Another attacking error against Austria. So 19-19. Again, much better effort this time for the Griffins. But can they come back completely? That will not help. A service error, and that one had no hope.
The service line. We've seen some errors right there from the Griffins.
Hernandez and Austria out. Senyoron Imperial back in. As the Spin Doctors looking to add to this 1-point advantage.
It has been a closer set, and I think the Spin Doctors want to ensure that they can close out the second set.
That is out. No touch. Hihingi naman ang challenge ang VNS Griffins. There were a lot of arms there. And that buzzer makes it official. They will be asking for a review.
It happened right in front of our first referee. Has a good view. Now we await the replay.
For VNS, there's a lot riding on these final points because you have to convince yourself that you can win a set against the Savouge Spin Doctors. Yes, you can play well. You can hang with them, but can you beat them?
And how do you finish a set? Because
Sure.
I think this set, like what we have mentioned, it is a much better set than set number 1. As we look at that slow-mo,
Nagitna din dumaan.
yeah, it looks like and you don't see any change no, dun sa fingers ng blockers. It was a clean one.
And now Coach Ralph Ocampo will call a timeout. His team down by 2 points after that unsuccessful challenge. Let's listen in.
Huwag kayong magtapon. Kasi umahabol tayo, nagtapon tayo ng 2 puntos. Hindi pwedeng backspin yung palo nyo. Kailangan dyan may lagay. Number 1 yan eh. Gilid, edges, or seam. Hindi pwede ba sa hatawin nyo lang ng outside? Sayang. Okay? Kailangan natin maging mas consistent sa ginagalaw natin. 2. Huwag kayong magtapon. Go tayo. Receive.
This has been a constant reminder. Go back to basics. Go back to what we actually train for.
And we heard that even in the first set, no, going back to the technique, going back to the basic form. I think in this case, yung pinapaalala nga, no, there's so much power in their offense, but they're asking for an offense na mas maganda yung technique. Na dapat papasok. You gotta get that top spin.
Float serve. Medino pushes it across and gets a point. Not enough commitment coming from the block that time.
Yeah, that was interesting. When he went for the approach, you hear from the bench, palo na, but he opts for that drop and scores that point.
The blocker's arms not pushed forward, but they get a point quickly right back, courtesy of Torres.
It's those middle plays,
Yeah.
the really fast ones. Catches the defense off guard. Look at that.
In the first set, it was largely Diwa. Here in the second set, more touches in the middle for Torres. As Caritativo checks in for the first time. He played in the first and fourth sets in their last game. Getting an opportunity now. That's wide. No touch on the block, just a miss-hit.
These are the wasted points.
Yeah.
Coaches earlier specifically calling that out.
You have another timeout for VNS.
Sabi ko, una pa lang ng start, magkarga tayo ng serve. Ang gaan ng serve. Ngayon naman single block, umilalim. Kaya umilalim sa ball. Ang ganda na ng set, single block. Kailangan yung mga opportunity na ganyan na convert natin to points yan. Tapos yung block, kailangan mo magbasa. Kung mas maliit ka, undersized ka, kailangan mas smart ka mag-block. Hindi pwedeng inibabawang ka lang. So, wag ka pumayag, magbasa ka. Tatlo yan, kanina dikit, habol tayo ulit. Ito na yung pinaka-chance natin, itong timeout na to.
Kailangan mong panghinayangan yung effort na binigay mo dito sa second set. Nilaban nyo di ba? Nakatabla kayo Nandyan kayo. Let's find a way to get 3 points back and somehow win this second set, according to Coach Ralph. Let's see how his team will respond. Good serve from Caritativo. Liray outsmarting the blockers, getting a point back. May sagot pa rin, may response pa rin after a timeout for the Griffins.
They've been consistent with that, but I think one opportunity that we're seeing here, they're not able to maximize all their attackers. Dahil bitin yung kanilang first ball.
Yeah.
Hindi nila magamit yung kanilang middle attacker, which is the opposite of what we're seeing on the side of the Spin Doctors.
Big gap in the defense there sa likod for the VNS Griffins, and that will send us to set point for the Spin Doctors, 24-21. Torres serving for the set. Difficult first ball. Liray, limited options, easily picked up. Good dive dun sa likod. That's a miss hit, but it will drop in. It will drop in favor of the VNS Griffins, extending this second set a little bit longer. Timeout naman for the Spin Doctors.
May setter, di ba? O, alam niyo na kung ano gagawin, kung saan mo play, ha? Doon sa may setter play. Yes, kaya mo na yun. Doon, pag gano'n. Harap ka pa, di ba? Ay, hindi. Harap ka pa. O, yan. 3 spikers. Advantage na tayo, ha? Nasa harap yung setter nila, ha? O. Padaliin natin yung buhay natin. Receivean natin ng maayos at play tayo. Let's go, let's go.
Remember what happened in the first set? They called a timeout, service error, right? They froze the server on the other side and got an easy point to end things in the opener. Ano naman ang magiging storya dito sa ating second set? We'll find out. As we have a specialist checking in, Flores will be in for this pressure-packed serve for VNS.
This is usually the tough call. Pasok ka, last point na yung kalaban. Malamig off the bench. Good steady serve.
That will be called outside. Pero may challenge pa. Ball in, ball out naman ngayon. Coming from the Spin Doctors. Wala pa silang successful challenge, no? Let's see if this will be the first for them dito sa laban na to.
Probably thinking nothing to lose. They are already at 24. If that had a slight touch at the line, they close out the set. If not, they continue to play on.
Bigger challenge coming from the VNS Griffins. As we take a look at it, just out.
It's the shadow.
Manipis na manipis, but out. Ano yan, 1 millimeter?
Sobrang eksaktong lumabas lang. But
Like you understand why they asked for the
Yes,
challenge,
oo.
right? We have another timeout.
Okay. May chance pa tayo, may chance pa. Malaki pa yung chance natin na makuha natin, maklose natin tong set. Kailangan lang natin ng magandang pasa. Ha?
May pasa natin.
Anong play mo?
B running coach.
Sino magrarun? Komportable ka doon, Loisa? Okay. Commit tayo sa receive. Yun lang kailangan natin para matapos na natin to. Okay?
Yeah,
Let's
go
go.
ahead, go. Very go.
If they receive well, expect the ball to go to Luis Gamban, who has played a good percentage. Maganda naman yung porsyento niya, delivering points for the Spin Doctors. As VNS want to extend this matchup, this second set a little bit further. Another set point for the Spin Doctors. There it is. The finishing kick coming from Gamban, exactly how they drew it up during that last time out. Good reception, the combination, the runner is good for Gamban. 2-0 for the Spin Doctors. (25-16, 25-23). Savouge Spin Doctors up 2-0 against the VNS Griffins dito po sa Santa Rosa. It was a lot tougher than the first, but the result will stay the same. Steadier in the end game where the Spin Doctors, they played the percentages, they went to their middles, but in the end, si Gamban pa rin yung pinuntahan nila for that killer, and he delivered once again to send them to set.
Live from Laguna, this is the 2024 Spikers Surf Invitational Conference. And to add a little more context of how young this VNS Griffins team is, wearing jersey number 9, Guerra is only 14 years old, the youngest player in the team. Jersey number 17, Daynata, at 24 years old, only the oldest player in the team. Most of these players are student athletes and only 3 of them have graduated, but only graduated this year. And I spoke to Coach JP De Guzman, their assistant coach, and their primary goal is to really recruit bright young talents and introduce a systematic approach in training and in competition. The team trains twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. In the morning, they have their conditioning, their skill work, and for the afternoon and the evening, they have their team training. They do this every day, and they are aware of that they need to double their efforts. But given all these challenges, according to Coach JP, this still won't stop them from chasing that Final Four spot. Back to you, Carla and Ann.
Well, it's in their name. They don't stop. Volleyball never stops for the VNS Griffins. At yun naman yung gusto nilang ginagawa talaga. You know? They recruit talent, they look for talent, they hone talent. Sometimes, you know, when they become good enough, they leave for greener pastures, so to say. But that's not something that they take against those players. Kasi yun talaga yung ginagawa nila as a club.
But you know, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You develop. That's very good advocacy, actually, if you think about it. The development. A lot of promise. Nabanggit nga, no, the age still very raw, still very young. So this is good experience and good exposure for them.
And they've played a lot better after that first technical timeout. Pumapalag, lumalaban, and not allowing themselves to fall apart early here in the third set. They were down by as many as 6 already. Not a good first ball there, but Torres makes up for it with a kill. And this feels closer to the first set than the second.
What is good, as you have pointed out earlier, no, this is a different set of players, but you know, same energy, same level being shown here, being played here.
And that's a third service ace already for the Spin Doctors. Good response though, as Olaez is getting more touches.
This is where you see a high percentage if they give it to the middle.
Yeah.
It's just that they don't consistently get a good first ball. But when they do, that is, you know, high percentage point.
Another service error though that will really hurt their cause. Kaya nga natin sinasabi na yung dulo ng second set, sobrang importante because there is a tendency for a team that fought back to fall at the start of the third set pag hindi nila nakumpleto yung turnaround.
And I think yung mahirap din dito, no, sometimes, at least what we are seeing, they score a point but they offset with an error.
Yep.
So ang bilis nung palit.
So hihingi ng timeout ng VNS Griffins down by 7.
Mahihirapan tayo yan kung tayo kay Gira sa maayos. Iilalim kayo sa bola, hindi nga gagalawan ng depensa. Nakita nyo yung mga error natin, nung huling mga error natin ngayon. Ano na, error ng bata. I mean, kumilos tayo ng maayos sa loob. Kaya natin yung humabol yan kung unti-untiin nyo lang kumilos kayo ng maayos. Umisip kayo ng maayos. Pumesta kayo ng block ng maayos. Pinractice naman natin yan eh. Bakit ganyan yung gagawin nyo? Diba? Bawi na! Bawi na! What
How do you respond? Yan yung tanong ngayon sa VNS Griffins. Yung porsyento nila in scoring after timeouts has been decent throughout this matchup. They need a point right here, right now.
Kanina sabi natin there is some urgency. Ngayon talaga it is really, really very urgent. Dahil set number 3 na. Pero naipakita nila they're really responding very well sa mga reminders and these timeouts. Look at that. Again, that is a point coming from the middle. A quick set.
That was Titus Villacruz is connecting, and then they get their first ace, back-to-back points for the Griffins. They need more. They need to rally. Can they keep it going?
Ooh, now.
That's back-to-back service aces now, as they've cut their deficit down to just 4.
And you know, this is the importance of delivering a strong serve. You see, you can actually score the points. If you don't score the point, you can actually break the play of your opponent.
Austria may sagot naman, halting that big run from the Griffins. Their steady setter, itong si Imperial, now serving 12 excellent sets in this matchup. Short serve. Yatko sets it up. Smart hit coming from Medino.
Best way to score a point off the block.
Good read mula sa veterano na si Barmeto. Iniwasan yung bola as he knew it was sailing out of bounds. Five points in total for Austria coming off the bench in this matchup.
Ooh. Overreaching.
Yep. And that will send us to our second technical timeout here in the third set. It is 16-10 in favor of the Spin Doctors. Tournament format, we have 10 teams, but only 4 will enter the semifinals after our preliminary round. Pagkatapos po nun, they will be joined by a guest team. And then we have another single round robin to determine which 2 teams will enter the finals. And then which 2 teams will battle for the bronze medal, the championship, and the battle for third. Not a series, it's a winner-take-all match. Arena Plus, Azteca Sports, we welcome you to our third set in this battle between the Savouge Spin Doctors and the VNS Griffins. Carlo Pamintuan and Anne Remulio on the call. VNS trying to mount a rally. But good recovery for the Spin Doctors. Jump set. Nabantayan itong si Charlie Magpayo. An attempt for a down-the-line attack. Falls a bit wide.
Spin Doctors pulling away comfortably.
17-10 as Austria continues to serve dahil sa bigat ng serve niya, no? Di talaga makapwesto, di makaporma yung opensa. That time around, a much better first ball. Pancake save there. And it actually leads to a point.
Just the right amount of power on that attack.
Naabot pa talaga. Magpayo sets it up, and it was Pedrosa who scores the point to extend their lead to 8 points now. Another good serve from Austria. Pedrosa with the first touch. Caritativo, set back, walang depensa dun sa likod.
Lack of coverage there, but they do have a comfortable lead at the moment.
VNS, they need a bunch of points quick. That will not help their cause though, as Caritativo makes up for the point he gave up as he gets one right back. Flat serve. It sounded wrong.
Yeah.
Sa tunog pa lang,
Actually,
diba?
the contact, and you see that it was going long. Going for that
Yeah.
float.
A mistake you will be able to afford when you're up by 8 points. Now 7.
Ooh.
Over reception. Oh, but mishandled initially.
That one falls right at the line for the Griffins.
You have to give credit to Christian Olaez. He has tried his very best para bigyan ng puntos ang kanyang koponan. Really good first ball there. It looked like there was already miscommunication for the Savouge Spin Doctors, but they still score.
And that is what matters. Some substitution again.
Paglao, their secondary setter, entering the matchup with Lawrence Senyoron. As Paglaon will be serving here. His team up by 7, 20-13. Good touch there coming from the libero. Caritativo goes cross court, dug up. Back row attack, sent back, denied. Caritativo slams the door shut. Saw that attack coming from a mile away as VNS will call a timeout. They're down by 8.
Mga kanto. Kasi kanina pa tayo na-outsmart eh. Ang problema, hindi tayo nag-a-adjust eh. Gusto niyong humabol pero hindi kayo nag-a-adjust. Yun yung problema doon. We're still doing the same. Diba? O kung, for example, pumalo ka ng line, nabablock ka nila yung line. Paulit siya ng paulit pero hindi kayo nag-a-adjust. Dapat iba naman daan ng bola nyo. Kailangan matalino naman laruin natin para makahabol tayo. Tayo natin!
The Spin Doctors hoping for a quick ending to this matchup, and they just need 4 more points to secure a 3-set sweep of the VNS Griffins here in Santa Rosa. Paglaon serving. That hit is wide. No touch from the block. And now they're just 3 away.
No room for errors for the Griffins.
Oh, another denial as they were ready to stop Kenneth Dainata after the approach.
Torres with that block.
Yung middles talaga, no? Sulit na sulit, gamit na gamit para dito sa Spin Doctors in this matchup. In the early parts, it was Diwa. Later on, it was Torres. But they allowed their pin hitters, their opens and their opposites to get their own offense going.
And you know, I'm looking at the numbers actually as we are speaking. And what's good, I think, in what they're doing for the Spin Doctors, lahat.
Yeah.
There's not one that stands out. Mainly because the setters really utilize all of their attackers. Great distribution.
Earlier, we could not stop talking about Norwell Sanamay. Now, nothing from him because he was not even sent in this third set.
But you utilize the talent, the players that you have on the floor.
24-15. We're at match point already for the Spin Doctors. As Jinmar Flores serves to try and extend this matchup a little bit further. Paglaon goes right back to Austria.
Ooh,
Overcooks that one. No touch.
too long. Extending a few minutes here in set number 3.
Yung Savouge, kung makapuntos pa yung VNS, mukhang tatawag ng
Oo.
timeout. Para
Naghahanda
siguraduhin
na.
ito na yon. Senyoran says, there's no need. Y'all chill. I got this under control. That will be 25-16 in the third set. A 3-set sweep for the Savouge Spin Doctors.
Seen a lot of confidence, good contribution from most of the players that got fielded in.
Didn't matter if you were a starter or you came off the bench. When you check into this matchup, the expectation is you will chip in something positive, and they did it from top to bottom. Everyone contributing to this strong performance for the Spin Doctors.
Meanwhile, for the Griffins, a lot of learning. You know, coming off today's match, as we look at our score for this game.
25-16, 25-23, 25-16. One more time for the Savouge Spin Doctors.
Ano po sabihin pa nga? Live from Laguna, this is the 2024 Spikers Turf Invitational Conference. Kasama ko ngayon ang player of the game na si Jills Torres. Jills, congratulations on the win.
Thank you po.
Okay, Jills, first off, nakwento sa akin ni Luis Gamban na hindi kayo ganun kakontento sa panalo nyo last game. This game, panalo kayo. Kamusta naman?
Siguro ngayong game hindi pa rin kami ganun kakontento kasi mas maganda na hindi ka nakokontento sa isang panalo. Kasi yung goal talaga namin dito is makapasok talaga sa semis. So, yun lang.
This is a 3-set win for you guys. You swept it. Nag-struggle kayo in the second set. Ano yung thoughts mo doon?
Buti naman at nakakapag-adjust kami ng maayos. And siguro nawalan din kami ng pasa kaya medyo dumikit yung laro. So ayun naman, okay naman at nakapag-adjust kami kaagad.
Right. Again, congratulations, Jills.
Thank you
Baka
po.
may gusto ka munang batiin bago ka.
Binabati ko po yung sa family ko, sa Isabela, and yung mga kapatid ko na nasa Baguio, and yung mga tita ko, and yung girlfriend ko.
Alright. Jills Torres from the Spin Doctors, congratulations. Back to you, Carlo and Ann.
Maraming salamat and congratulations to our best player of this matchup. Checking out the highlights of the third set. And like the first, maganda yung umpisa nitong Savouge Spin Doctors. They were able to dictate the pace, able to force errors early mula dito sa VNS Griffins, and they were never really in the flow of things. No, maaga silang nalamangan and they could not bounce back anymore.
And you know, this is a good way to get their win today, coming off that 5-setter that they played against MMB. As we look at the numbers for set number 8, dumikit no pagdating sa offense, but it was their blocking that really made a difference for them. And maybe for the Griffins, something to look into yung kanilang giveaway points. 9 points from the errors that they've committed in set number 3. Made it a lot easier for the Spin Doctors to get that set.
An unfortunate way to lose this matchup. They committed their most number of errors in the third set. Kaya naman nga pa aga yung pagtatapos nitong laban na to. A 3-set sweep for the Savouge Spin Doctors. We have another matchup coming right up. The Signal HD Spikers going up against the Chi DHTSI Titans in just a little bit. We thank you for joining us here in our first game. For Bailey's Akot and Miss Agnes William, pushing hard momentum. Thank you for your support of the Spikers turf.